So you find yourself wondering, how long does the average betta live for? Well, in this video, I'm not only going to answer that question, but I'm going to tell you how you can increase the life expectancy of your betta fish. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Richard and I'm a fish and shrimp breeder based in the UK. So what is the average lifespan for a betta? Well, typically your average betta will live between 3 and 4 years. Now obviously that does vary massively fish to fish, but the thing you have to remember is day one doesn't start the day you bring your fish home. Typically, male bettas are around 12 months old before they're sold in the store. They're not typically sold until around 12 months old because by that point they've developed their finnage, they've developed their colour, and they're most attractive to us, the buyers. Very few of us would go and buy a 1-month-old betta because it would be a small grey fish that didn't impress us in the slightest. So now that we know the average betta will live for 3 or 4 years, give or take, what can we do as fish keepers to ensure our bettas have the longest, healthiest life possible? Well, there's a number of things we can do. First off, let's start by keeping them in a suitable aquarium. Yes, bettas are often sold in cups. You'll go into the store and they'll be in a cup or a tiny bag. But in fact, for a betta to live its best life, for it to be healthy and happy and colourful, it really needs a decent water volume. I would say a minimum really is 5 gallons, but 7 or 10 per betta would be much more beneficial to the fish. The more water we keep our bettas in, not only does that give them more swimming space, but the larger the volume of water, the easier it is to keep that water stable, to keep the water parameters, to keep the nitrate levels, to keep the temperature stable. It's far easier to keep 5,000 gallons stable than it is 5 gallons. So one way to ensure your betta has a long, healthy life is to keep it in a decent size aquarium. Now tip number 2 for ensuring your betta lives as long as possible would be to feed it a good quality, balanced diet. Now a lot of us are guilty of just offering our fish one type of food once a day. Pinch a flake, pinch a flake, pinch a flake. That's all we give our fish day after day after day. But in fact, in the wild, and our bettas are far removed from the wild, but in the wild, they would eat a massive variety of food. They would eat worms and waterborne crustaceans and insects that fell into the water. They would eat baby fish they come across and all sorts of other invertebrates. Whilst, as I say, our bettas are not living in the wild and are fairly far removed from their wild cousins, the more food we can give them, the more variety of foods we give them, the better. Typically, I'll give my own bettas a mix of pellets, of flake, of live or frozen bloodworm or daphnia, mosquito larvae. I like to every day try and give them something a little bit different, meaning they get a whole wide variety of vitamins and minerals and nutrients, which ensures they're happy, healthy, colourful, bright-eyed. It helps them fight off pests and diseases. The healthier you can make your fish by giving it a more balanced diet, the better it will be and the longer it will live. Now a second thing we can do to ensure our bettas live as long as possible is actually don't keep them in sight of other bettas. Now we all know that betta fish will fight one another. If you put 2 males in a tank, they will battle it out, often to the death. But in fact, research has shown that bettas can become almost equally as stressed if they're kept in aquariums next to one another. If they can constantly see another male betta from their tank, they seem to live their life in the perpetual defensive mode. Even though they can't get to that betta, they'll be constantly flaring and showing themselves and preparing themselves for battle. And research has shown that those stress levels can actually reduce the life of the betta. Now my final tip for ensuring your betta has a long, healthy life is to make sure you keep the aquarium water clean and fresh. Now one way we do this is with filters, and the filters will remove the ammonia and the nitrites from the aquarium water, but they won't lower the nitrate levels. Nitrates do form naturally as part of the whole nitrogen cycle when our fish go to the bathroom. And the best way we can keep our nitrate levels down is to carry out regular water changes. Change anywhere from 10 to 50% of the water once a week or once a fortnight, adding back fresh dechlorinated tap water to keep the nitrate levels low, to keep your betta fish happy and healthy, and to increase its life expectancy. In fact, this is such an important subject that I recently created a whole video explaining why nitrates can be bad for our fish and our shrimp and how we can keep the nitrate levels down. And you can watch that video by clicking here. Thanks for watching.